The Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action was signed by Iran and the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council plus Germany in July 2015. It limited Tehran's nuclear activities in return for lifting economic sanctions against the country. Iranians took to the streets and celebrated the agreement, believing that it would end the country's isolation and improve the economy. But the euphoria didn't last. Former US President Donald Trump called the accord the worst deal ever negotiated and imposed tough economic sanctions. Ever since, diplomatic efforts to restore the accord have failed and sanctions remain in place. Iran has retaliated by accelerating its nuclear program, although it has maintained some level of cooperation with the UN nuclear watchdog. During his campaigning, President-elect Masoud Pezeshkian, who will be sworn in later this month, promised to work to revive the accord.
What is the alternative if we don't accept the nuclear deal? We have lost billions of dollars. We lost billions of dollars every day because we are stuck in this process.
Now Pezeshkian says he is ready to alleviate tensions with the West and will reciprocate good faith with good faith while rejecting US pressure. The United States also needs to recognize the reality and understand, once and for all, that Iran does not and will not respond to pressure. We entered the JCPOA in 2015 in good faith and fully met our obligations. But the United States unlawfully withdrew from the agreement, motivated by purely domestic quarrels and vengeance. But the president in Iran doesn't have the final say over major policies. And the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has to approve any possible détente with the West. Pezeshkian faces tough challenges in convincing the political elite in the country, while a possible return of Trump would make a breakthrough more complicated.
He says that he is going to work on the JCPOA and talks with the West, but the situation on the ground in terms of international relations and the global scene is not something that is promising for him, at least for short term, to have any achievements or any progress in such negotiations.
But Pezeshkian needs to make short-term progress. In October 2025, the JCPOA will be terminated, and Western powers could use a provision within the deal called snapback to reinstate 6 rounds of UN Security Council resolutions against Iran that were lifted under the accord.
The Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action is of a high priority for us, and we should resolve it before its expiry deadline and prevent a possible snapback on sanctions. Pezeshkian's foreign policy team are the same people who negotiated the nuclear deal, and they will try to protect their legacy.
There's cautious optimism that the Pezeshkian presidency could kickstart talks on the revival of the nuclear deal that have remained stalled for the past 2 years. But a lot depends on the US approach and the scope of concessions that Iran is ready to offer. Reza Hatami, TRT World, Tehran.